the door. Take us to your grave. In the house. Lock the door.
where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly night and day, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly, yeah. Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly night and day, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, 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 tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are ready, but I definitely am. Let's have some fun.
Distance nerding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It's the time of the week. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready to have a whole crap ton of fun. Let's do this. Guys, it's your boy, Young Phil. And it feels kind of like one of my game streams because I'm here by myself. It's okay because our guest is on the way. He just texted me, so he obviously, I mean, he didn't forget about me at all, but I know that. Jackie is going to be on in a little while here. But we're going to get this done, guys. We're going to get this set up. I'm going to start building this R2D2. I'm ready. I'm going to get this down. And of course, Chris Velazquez on his way. So in the meantime, let's talk sponsors here. Let's talk the companies that keep us going and keep the bills paid. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about this company here. This small little brand out there that, you know, kind of keeps us in the green. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about pod decks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, pod decks. Pod decks are unique.
Don't pause. Press play.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry. Pod decks are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Now, guys, use that code nerding10 to get 10% off your order. They do all kinds of good, crazy things. I love pod decks. We're actually, as a matter of fact, planning on we got a whole plan on how we're going to be using pod decks at LA Comic-Con. More information in the future for everybody here. But we're going to be doing some stuff at LA Comic-Con. And pod decks is going to play a big role in that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in finding out what pod decks are, head over to poddecks.com. And again, if you decide to purchase anything, use that code nerding10 and you get 10% off your order. It is awesome stuff, guys. Now, we all know pod decks powers the show. But what powers young Phil? And yes, my boy Cam in the chat just mentioned it. What powers young Phil? Well, we'll tell you what that is. It is Dubby, ladies and gentlemen. Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg to get more information on the Dubby stuff. And guys, use that code nerding10, same one as before, nerding10, and get 10% off your order. Guys, it is delicious. They have 6 flavors. 5 are energy. 1 is a hydration flavor. They are great. I have not done a mix of all 5 flavors. That might be what we do tonight. Sir, you just gave me an amazing idea. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. Oh man, okay. I was not prepared for this. Okay. So right here, guys, we got the Dragonade right there. That deliciousness right there. I'm gonna do. Let's see what we got here. Galaxy Grenade. Okay. Got the Dub Sludge right there. That's a fan favorite right there. We've got Passion Joy Tea right there. Some deliciousness. Yeah. And then, of course, we got the Beach and Peach. All right. I have never done this before. I'm a little afraid of what I'm about to do right now because it is a little crazy. But I'm going to take a little bit of each flavor here. Probably going to do about a half scoop of each flavor. Because I'm already doing something a little bit crazy along with it. And I'll mention what that is here in a second. I'm going to do about a half scoop of each flavor here. That was the Beach and Peach, which is a white mango and peach flavor right there. I've got Dub Sludge right here. Gonna have a scoop of Dub Sludge going. Okay, I got about a half. Oh, let's need a little more. Got about a half scoop. That's not a half scoop. I need more. There we go. About a half scoop of Dub Sludge right there. Okay, Dub Sludge is a Granny Smith apple and secret sauce. Cam, you are a genius, dude. He should have done that. That probably would have been a good idea. But hey, you're getting it now. All right. This is Passion Joy Tea. There we go. Got a half a scoop of Passion Joy Tea. Passion Joy Tea is a passion fruit iced tea. I'll try EHG. That's a good plan, man. Like I said, I'm doing it right now. Let's get the half scoop of Galaxy Grenade. This is the fan favorite right here. I probably need a little more of that. All right. And the last one here, my all-time favorite flavor, Dragonade. Right there, dragon fruit pink lemonade. I'm not ready for this. This is gonna be nuts. So where you guys can see it, I've got all 5 flavors mixed into this sludge right here. Now here's the crazy thing that I was doing. I'm keeping this. No, it never left the office. It's still here. This stuff is nasty. I am not drinking this. No, what I'm mixing it with here, because we're going with the sugar free, I've got a 0 sugar 7-Up. So I'm going to mix 0 sugar 7-Up in here. And then I'm going to mix the rest with just regular fizzy water. Let me get this down and let it mix real quick. All right. Dude, Cam, you've had some pretty good ideas, man, but this is genius. This is like the ultimate fruit punch. All right. Oh my God, it smells amazing. All right, let's taste this real quick before I bring on the guest. Huh. That's an interesting flavor. So for for those of you just joining us, I'm gonna explain what I just took a sip of right now. I just took all 5 flavors of Dubby and put them all into this concoction here. So it's dragon fruit, lemonade, watermelon, guava, lime, passion fruit, iced tea, Granny Smith apple, cherry. What else is in here? Mango and white peach mixed with a 0 sugar 7-Up and fizzy water. You know what's a trip? There's not really any flavors that really stand out among the other ones. It's just kind of like a punch mixture. It's very interesting because it's also sugar free, so you get like that sugar free back taste. It's a little, I don't know. It's not bad. It's definitely something I might make again, but it's also like there's no distinct flavor to it. It's just kind of fruity energy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All that being said, I'm excited to bring this guest back on. It's been a little while since he's been on the show, but I mean, we're co-promoting a film festival, and I am 100% excited about this film festival and what we're going to be doing, and just kind of going ham and having fun. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing back to the stage the ridiculously talented, and when I say that, I mean, guys, you got to check his TikTok, man. The stuff he puts out are ridiculously funny. Like every time I look at TikTok and I see his stuff, I die laughing, man. And a lot of the stuff is original. Some of it is like, you know, he's reusing some of the stuff that's there, but the original stuff cracks me the hell up, and I love it. So guys, I'm bringing back to the stage here the one, the only. Hold on. Dramatic pause. Chris Velazquez.
everybody.
What's
Can
up?
you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, man, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Working hard.
I,
Trying to
I,
get everything ready to go.
I know what you mean, man. How's everything been? You excited for Saturday?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for Saturday. Everything's been good. I mean, we've been doing our best to try and survive this little COVID thing going on. You know, the film industry is kind of a crazy place, but everything's looking positive and looking good. And the festival and stuff, we're all ready to go for Saturday. We had our sound check today, and we're finishing up sound check tomorrow. And I'm excited to show people some of these films because they look amazing. We have some cool Star Wars films. We have some cool films from all over the world. And some local ones too, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what people's reactions are to it.
Man, the Star Wars stuff is always good, man, because I remember when we did the show last, we were still with Hardly Heroes. And when we did that show with Hardly Heroes, there were some independent Star Wars films that were there, and they were awesome, man. The animated stuff that was there was really cool too.
Yeah, we got more animated. We actually got 2 animated films this year. One of them's kid kind of oriented, really simple animation, and the other one's more kind of rated TV mature kind of animation because it has blood and violence and stuff. But it's done very, very well. And our event, the way it's set up, it's like it starts at 4:00. The doors open 4:30. The show starts, and the first 2 film blocks are family oriented. So they're they have the film block, then we have the break and the performance, then we have another film block, and then another break. And those ones are all, rated G films everybody can enjoy. Right after that goes to PG-13, and then the last film block of the night, which is around 9:00 or so, that's more like for date night and stuff because it's more action films. There's a little bit of language, a little bit of violence, stuff like that. No nudity, nothing like that, but it's we try and kind of make it to where everybody can kind of go and check it out. And it's kind of a family fun event. The beginning of the day, the end of the night, it's more of a date night kind of thing.
Okay, no, I dig that, man. With that, are any of your films going to be featured in the festival this year?
We are showing a few old films, kind of re-putting them out, just because of the fact that we were going to go into production for Sakura this past summer, and then there were some complications and stuff like that. My daughter, she got sick, and she's better now and stuff. But it was just a lot of things happened to where we kind of kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back.
Okay.
And so what we're doing this festival is we're going to be showing Sakura again, the original short, and we're going to be showing a few other shorts, and we're going to be showing the Digimon short that we did last year, just to kind of get people to kind of see it and kind of refresh their memories on it, because we are going to be releasing more Digimon episodes pretty soon. We got everything finished on it, and then we're going to be doing the Sakura miniseries, which is a 6-part series that's going to be coming out. And it's a sequel to the original short. So if you watch the original short, this miniseries takes place 2 years after that short in the same world and stuff like that. So we're pretty excited. We're going to have some announcements and stuff for people to check out.
Nice, man. I'm excited to watch Sakura on the big screen, man.
Yeah, I love that film. It's funny because we made it during COVID. It was for a contest. And I had that script in my computer probably for almost close to like 8 years. It was just sitting there.
I remember when you were on the show last, you talked about like how it was just sitting there for like the longest time.
Yeah, it was sitting there for the longest time because I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the anything to do it. And then this contest came up, and it kind of like pushed me to get it done, because there's always that thing, people like me, filmmakers and stuff, it's either money and cost that are stopping you from doing it, or it's just that drive, that push that you need to just get this done.
Right.
And finally I was at a point where I had friends, I had people that I could reach out to. My daughter was a little older, so she could do more lines, more serious acting and stuff. And I'm pretty excited for people to see what we have in store for the Sakura miniseries, because that's going to like push the limits on what Violette Films has ever done before. And I'm very excited for people to see some stuff.
Yeah, man. And then the Digimon stuff, man. Like that's gonna be like a whole crap ton of fun too.
Yeah, when we made Digimon, we originally intended it to just be just a fan film, and the reason I did it was because I'm a huge anime fan, and I get really kind of not protective, but kind of like when I hear they're making a live action version, I always have that wall that's put up, because I always know for a fact that it's gonna either be really, really good or go south.
Right.
for me, a lot of the times where it goes south is when they stray from the look or the original kind of inspiration or story of it.
Right.
And so when I made the Digimon short, my daughter actually, we actually have a hat from from our show. My daughter, she became a fan of it and she started watching it with me and stuff like that. And we kind of connected on it and we were talking about it. We're like, okay, I'm going to make a live action anime, but I'm going to do it to where the Digimon look live action. They're not going to be a changed kind of design to make it more realistic. They're not going to be any of that stuff. It's just going to be what you see in the anime is translated on screen as best as possible. And that counts from the opening title sequence that we do to the closing title sequence. We try the first episode we're going to be showing at the festival, and we tried to do something to where like anime fans would be like, oh, that's Digimon. I'm watching this, and it's its own story. So it doesn't impede on any of the original anime. It doesn't do anything. It just kind of advances the story because it takes place in 2020 going forward. So yeah, so we're trying to do something to where like eventually I want to get to that point where I can make fully live action. That's my next anime that I would love to do live action if I have the ability to.
Yeah, man. Just because like I mean, like yeah, the live action anime stuff that's out there now is like super disappointing, man, for the most part. And it's like they get the look for a lot of it, but the thing is like the story just deviates so much from what it is in a lot of the stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, for me, I think like for example, when they did Cowboy Bebop,
yeah,
the look of it was really really good. Like it looked amazing, like the way that it was shot and the different things. But the story wise is what kind of like made it kind of like, oh, what? Okay, they're kind of changing some things, and I think that's there. I understand how movies work. I understand like the behind the scenes, like how everything has to fit together to make something work. And it's very very difficult to do. So I don't like putting down those productions because I know a lot of people worked really really hard to do it.
Right.
But there had to be some decisions on the higher up that could have been a little different. That could have been more like, hey, there's a fan base here. Let's play to this fan base and do the series as it is, just live actions where they love it. And then you have that fan base now. Now you can do more seasons and expand the story and do something that no one's ever seen before.
I agree with that 100% because that's something that I've noticed a lot is, you can change things in a story to make it fit more, but when you change the essence of a character or you change what makes that character endearing, it's no longer that character anymore. Like a big example, look at X-Men, right? Like X-Men as a film series, right? Like they change a lot of the characters, and it's like, okay, we're doing fan service, but it's not fan service in a way that is making the fans happy.
Yeah.
There are ways you can do it where it makes the fans happy, but then it also grows your fan base. The biggest example of that is what Feige is doing with Marvel.
I think it's, for me, comic books and Marvel movies and stuff like that is a lot different. There's like a different little divide with anime. And the reason, maybe it's because of the way that the animation style is and the storytelling style is really, really different. Like you can get, and it has happened in some superhero movies, you can get like some comic book pages and just take a still from it and look at the feature film, and it's the exact shot. Like they've done, as close as they possibly could.
Yeah, 300 is a good example of that.
Right. But the hard part is when you have like anime, there's some facial expressions, there's some characters, there's some movements in battle scenes that are very, very difficult to do unless you have really good CGI or you have very, very good cinematography. And there's been some instances like Rurouni Kenshin and the Full Metal Alchemist film that they made live action, that there's some instances where you can do it right. It just have to make sure that going in that this is an anime. And I feel like right now too much of that thing is like, oh, I want it to look realistic. I want it to exist in our world. So they change a lot of it, whereas like Digimon, for example, it's a kid's show. It's supposed to be whimsical. It's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be out there. And so, when you see an R short, when you see Wizardmon, when you see Pumpkinmon, when you see these characters, regardless of how ridiculous they look in the real world, you have to understand that this is a TV show where in this world, they're real creatures. And that's what they would look like. And I feel like a lot of the times they kind of miss the mark on that in Hollywood when they make live action adaptations of things, because they're just like, we want to make it our way. And I'm like, well, that's great, but you have to understand that there's a fan base that wants to see it a certain way. and you have to find that middle ground. And a lot of the times it's just like, well, we're making it, so we're going to do it our way. And
I always
doesn't
hate that
translate
attitude, because she's like, you're making a property to kind of try and draw in a fan base, and it's like, well, you're ostracizing that fan base. And it's like when you say, we're making this movie, but we're gonna do it our way. Like, another big example is as Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
And you kind of just deviate everything in the film, and you just don't do anything that makes people like just that is anything recognizable to what the fans love about the series in the first place. Then it's just
Right.
kind of like, what are you doing?
Right. And I saw one of the comments right now says Detective Pikachu felt like it was the right combo. Like that was one of the movies that I was like shocked about when I went to go see it, because I didn't normally I watch I watch trailers like crazy. Detective Pikachu, for whatever reason, when it came out, I didn't really see any trailers for it. I just saw kind of like little clips and stuff of it, and we took my daughter to go see it. And I was like, well, okay. First, if a lot of people that are really keen on paying attention, it is a sequel to the original Pokemon movie.
Right.
And that blew my mind because I was like, it's the same Mewtwo. So that tells me that this exists in a universe. Ash exists in this universe. Misty exists in this universe. They're older because of the time frame, how many years have passed, but they exist, and it's like that's a perfect way of like introducing something to kids because they can go watch the original series and it's canon.
Right.
And then you have something else that takes place in its own world in its own time frame that does not mess with the original anime.
Yeah.
And and that was like a perfect mix of like, I don't know why they don't do that with a lot more shows. Like if they ever did it with like Inuyasha or Trigun, my wife would hate it because that's like her favorite show. Like she does not want them to see them do live action at all for those shows. But if they ever did, I would hope that they would do something that's its own story that's just apart from it.
I
And
thought
not
they did a live action in Yasha.
no, they did like a stage production, but they didn't do like a film yet. I think like all the films that I've seen online that are in Inuyasha are all like fan made.
Okay.
And stuff like that. And then they also did like they did a live action like a stage production of like Spirited Away and like different ones like that, which they look really really cool.
Yeah.
But it's like when they do the live action movies and stuff, like they did Bleach, and I think Bleach was the closest to something that I would kind of do because they got the original like Johnny Yongbosh, they got the original voice actor to do the voiceover for the American dub. So when you're watching it, you hear the voice from the anime as you're watching the live action film. And like that's something that I would do. Like I would get the original live action voice actors and have them redo the dubs for the Japanese actors and stuff. And then and I also think that if you're making a Japanese film, you should have Japanese actors, or at least where they're represented in the world, because it's kind of you don't want to pull a Ghost in the Shell and they tried with that one, but I don't think a lot of people it mowed over very well with a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is there's a lot of people that just don't understand like cyberpunk in general, so it's just kind of like there's just a lot that there's a lot that could have went wrong that did go wrong.
Yeah, like I feel like I think to be honest though, I think Ghost in the Shell gets a bad rep just because of who they cast. Like I think if they would have gotten like just a random actress who no one had ever heard of before and made the film, it wouldn't have gotten as much backlash, because when you pay attention, Scarlett Johansson's character is just a robot, and that's the reason she looks the way she does.
Right.
And her actual living body, like her brain, everything else, belonged to a Japanese woman. So it falls in the anime, but I think just because of who they casted, of course they're trying to bank on it and make money, stuff like that. But I think in that area, like there's enough fan following for you to not have to do that. You can get, and I feel like that was that little like muddy waters where Hollywood, they cast an A-list actor, and a lot of people don't want to see that person play someone they grew up their childhood watching.
Right. I mean, like, honestly, I didn't have a problem with Scarlett Jo playing that character, especially because she's a fan. So I mean, like, that's one of the big things that kind of upset her about like the backlash, is because she's a fan of the character, and she was like, that was her whole big thing, was she wanted to do justice for the character, but like nobody wanted to give her a chance. So it was like,
the special effects were pretty cool though.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
The movie that I'm thinking of right now, I was gonna say Akira, but not Akira, because they haven't made that movie yet.
There's a few other ones like I want to say so
it came out in theaters a couple years ago. Didn't
Exactly.
do well, but I liked the movie when I went to go see it, and I'm trying to remember who was in it.
Was it a live action anime
Live
adaptation?
action, yeah.
Or
It was,
wasn't
it
it
was,
like
it
wasn't
was
it
in
like
theaters, and it was from a couple years ago.
it wasn't like Candy or something like that, or some?
No, not Candy.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't figure out because with the pandemic, like ever since like 2018, 2019 onward, all
Mhm.
the films like when they came out is like a blur. Because like when they started switching stuff to like online or they started doing like exclusives, stuff like that, like this little like kind of window thing of like, okay, when these movies came out is kind of like meshed for me. So it's really hard to remember a lot of these. I think now I'm starting to kind of get a more of a sense of like, okay, this is coming out this time or this is coming out this time because things are kind of getting back to normal. So we're starting to get like those trailers that have like the release dates and only in theaters, and you kind of can like gauge and understand where things are coming from. But like during the whole pandemic and stuff, I can't remember half the movies that came out.
Yeah, it was a Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that
Like I actually liked that movie. Like I saw that in theaters. I thought it was good.
that movie was pretty good. Only because of the fact that I think just the way they went about making it and the way they went about explaining it, like they actually gave you anime eyes in
Yeah,
real life, but they made it to where she's a robot. So it's believable that a person like that would have those kind of eyes. And it
exactly.
kind of gave people, I don't know if some people were kind of like, what the hell is that when they first saw the trailer? But I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because when I saw that in theaters, and I was like, I remember the anime, and then watching the movie, I was like, this is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah. A lot of the action scenes were pretty cool.
Yeah, and then again, another example of a cyberpunk movie. Like you look at like the just the way that they treated the characters and the dudes with all the cybernetics and everything.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get to that point to where they'll start making better movies and more movies like that, so we can start appreciate certain genres.
Right.
Like when we made Sakura, originally we were going to make it cyberpunk, and I took a step back and I was like, what is needed to make cyberpunk? And I was like, I don't have the money or the resources or the locations to do that.
Yeah,
So we ended up doing that like 1980s TV realism where you have like TV Radiohead, kind of like that mix of a post-apocalyptic with like old VHS players kind of look of technology, and we ended up going with that route just because it was like the most cost efficient. I can go buy things at like the thrift shop or costumes or whatever and build stuff, and it's realistic. And cyberpunk is like that thing of like it's also a steampunk. In order to pull it off right, you have to have that like artistic vision, and it has to be done executed by people who know what they're doing. Because
right.
you get one little thing wrong, and all of a sudden, some people who are hardcore fans of that like genre are just like, "That's not cyberpunk. That's not steampunk. I don't know what the hell that is."
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like you said, I can imagine like steampunk or steampunk too, but cyberpunk would be super expensive to do because just the genre in general is, I mean, the whole idea is cost effectiveness in technology. So I mean, like, where technology gets so cheap that it's a norm for everyone to have cybernetic implants and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's getting to that point to where filmmakers can finally start to branch out. Like we have a film that's a post-apocalyptic film in the festival from France, and it is done amazingly. Like it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's actually, and I'm going to announce this here first. It's actually an award winner, and so we are super excited to screen it. And the filmmaker actually had a small little crew, and a lot of it was done in CGI. It was done in the computer. So they filmed a practical person, but a lot of the set extensions are CGI. A lot of the the props and stuff that they come into contact with is CGI. And it's amazing how far technology has gone to where it allows independent filmmakers to kind of tell their vision and their story. And so it's slowly getting there, but it's still not quite there yet to do like cyberpunk properly unless you have a big enough budget, because there's so much neon, there's so much technology, there's a lot of like meshing with real person. I mean, doing practical effects and CGI together is the best way of doing special effects, but not everybody at like my level or anybody else has access to do that stuff. Like it's either CGI or special effects. It's really hard to merge both on a certain budget. but eventually we'll get there. So hopefully.
Right. No, that's cool, man. I'm actually a lot more excited now. I'm already excited because I remember the first film festival that I went to. I think it was the third annual one. Was it the third or was it the fourth annual? Because
It was the third one, third annual.
that's right. You did do one last year because I remember you invited us and we couldn't make it. But no, dude, yeah, man. I when we went to the third annual one, it was like super excited. It was really good. Just I was amazed at like the production value in a lot of those films. Like some of them being fan films, some of them just being indie in general. And it was just like, my God, man, like the creativity that people have just like blows my mind sometimes, man.
Yeah, it's amazing some of the stuff that people come up with and the way they go about doing it. I feel like when you're an independent filmmaker, one, you don't get a loud enough voice in the world, and it's not because people like, it's not because they look down upon you because you're an independent filmmaker or nothing like that. It's just because you don't have the resources to reach an audience as widely as people who have a lot of marketing money or a lot of connections. But on the flip side of that is when you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of marketing stuff, you have to think outside the box to get people's attention. So a lot of the times when we have fan films, we had a Zelda fan film one year. We had a fan film, a whole bunch of Star Wars ones over the years. We've had a few different ones that, they thought outside the box of how to get people's attention. And they did very, very well to where they would exist in that universe at a Hollywood level if given the ability to. And I feel like for example, and the Super Mario movie that's coming out, right?
Right.
I'm super excited about that movie. It looks amazing. I'm worried about the voice of Mario a little bit. But that's one of those things where it's like in fan film universe, sometimes they don't have an actor or somebody that sounds like the character. So like one time I saw a Zelda fan film, and what they ended up doing was they got the kid that was playing Zelda, because it's really hard to make just a silent film because in Zelda they don't talk. Right. What they ended up doing was they got a kid who sounded like sounded similar to the voice of what Link was when he jumps and stuff like that, and all the like the sounds he makes. He sounded like he would be able to make that sound himself. And what they ended up doing was they had a small little conversation between him and another character, and then they get into a fight. And when they get into a fight, the sounds that you hear are actually from the game. They ripped the voice from the game, put it in there to do all that stuff and kind of mix it around. And when you watch it, something in your brain tells you like that looks right because it sounds proper. It sounds right of what they're doing. And I feel like in the Mario movie, there's an option for them to do that. They could make it to where if Chris Pratt sounded close enough to the original guy that does the voice for Mario, when Mario jumps, he does like the sounds and stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to play out.
In the movie too, though.
Yeah, he plays somebody in the movie, but I don't know. I don't think anybody knows who he's playing or what he's doing in the movie.
Because that's been like the big, a lot of people have been upset about how, well, he's playing in the movie, but he's not playing Mario, and people were like upset about that. But it's because the whole idea was they're trying to go in, and it's like the entire movie is supposed to be in a different direction than what you're used to with Mario.
Right.
And it's like I'm okay with that. Like I'm actually not afraid of what this movie is going to be, because it seems like they're going the New York plumber route again.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, because everybody's like, it's just Chris Pratt's voice. It's like, no, but if you listen, there's a slight Brooklyn accent in what he says. Plus, it's one line. You can't really judge an entire movie off of one line.
Right. If you look at the film, you look at the trailer, Bowser, Toad, all of them get multiple lines for you to get a feel of what their voice is.
Right.
And with him, you don't get that much of a thing. And I don't know if it's on purpose, because the same thing happens with Luigi. You hear Luigi like scream or yell or do something at the very end of the trailer when he's getting chased by the Drybones, but you don't really hear his voice. And I haven't heard anybody say anything about Luigi yet because no one knows what he sounds like.
But that's the thing is that what I noticed immediately is Luigi, when everybody's complaining about Mario and everything, Luigi sounds like Charlie Day, who plays Luigi. So it's like he just sounds like Charlie Day.
Yeah, he just sounded like him just screaming.
Yeah,
or him like panting. Yeah, and so it's like I don't know what I understand from like a business standpoint. You want to separate it from the game because you want people to kind of see the difference. But there's also that if you need to be able to lean into the game and not be scared.
Well, the other thing is, I think what I'm feeling, like kind of where I'm feeling what they're doing with this is, I think they are trying to do like their own thing to an extent.
Yeah.
But like what they're doing, they're illuminationing it. You know, like you look at like the way that Illumination does their movies, right?
Mhm.
And that's what it is. Is it's almost like they're doing a modern take on it with classic looks and things like that. Like there's a lot of Easter eggs in that trailer too that a lot of people like
Yeah.
just overlook, right? And there's like small little video game Easter eggs that are just like, you know, this is something that's in there. Like I get it. Like yeah, it's not I'm forgetting his name. His last name is Martinell, but the guy who plays Mario,
Mhm.
you know, he in an interview he said it's not what the traditional take on Mario, but it's good nonetheless. If when you have the voice of Mario saying he likes what they did with it, you
Mhm.
need to trust the process just a little bit.
Yeah, and the hard part is people. There's a saying in the film industry where they say people with the loudest mouths are the ones that don't have any say.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of one of those things where you're always going to hear complaints from people who have nothing to do with the project. You're always going to hear someone stating their opinion when they are not a part of the creative process of making something.
Right.
And there's you have to walk a fine line between when you're a filmmaker, you have to recognize when what they're saying is just banter that you don't need to pay attention to, or if it's actually something that you need to pay attention. Like for example, with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I was
when
gonna.
when they released the trailer, they listened to it, and it wasn't. I don't know if you watch Corridor Digital. Have you ever seen that show on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
So Corridor Digital, they have there's these guys that they are digital artists, and they have a thing called Artist Reacts, which is like a show where they bring on industry professionals and they kind of show them clips of what they worked on and what they did. And they brought on the special effects supervisor for Sonic, and they showed him the trailer and they said, "What happened here? Like, can you explain why this happened?" And he basically said that the director that they hired, he came from a background of animation. And so when the studio told him you need to do this live action, right, that he came from a background of, okay, if this needs to be live action, I need to have a character that has fingers able to put cassette tapes in. I need to have shoes that could realistically be grabbed from a kid's bedroom. I need to do all these things because that's what the studio was telling him. And so when the visual effects artist made the renders, did the things, they released the trailer, they saw the instant backlash. And he kind of gave this feeling of they knew that was coming, right? And without even he texted him or called him or something like that. And before he even told him, hey, you should correct this and make it, right, the director had already put out something saying, we apologize. I'm going to make this better. I'm going to make this right. And he kind of spearheaded and went like, okay, we're going to do as close to the video game as possible. And there's slight changes, but they did an amazing job with those characters.
To the point where they licensed Disney to make jokes out of it. I mean, like if you watched Ugly Sonic and Chippendale, that was genius.
Yeah. They did an amazing job. And it's like that's like a perfect example of like where you make the film you want to make, but you listen to your audience and you listen for constructive criticism. Because there was a lot of people that were just bagging on that trailer, but they had a point behind what they were saying. It wasn't like they were just like talking crap about the filmmakers or just talking crap about the movie in general. They were nitpicking at specific things that could have been changed. And they even had, I think, a few people, I don't even know if Corridor did it too, a few people corrected the trailer with a different Sonic and made like their own fan trailer with like an improved Sonic that looked more like the video game. And that was just like extra thing of like, look, this can be done.
Right.
So why aren't you guys doing it? And I think that's like almost instantly the director and everybody was just like, nope, you know what? You're right. Let's fix this and let's do it. And I there's like a little fine line where like I wish more films did that. I wish they kind of took a step back and listened to the feedback that they got. Right. But at the same time, you don't want to sacrifice your vision for everybody else's. So you have to, there's like a fine line you got to tread where you're like, okay, I'm going to make the movie that we want to make because this is what the studio approved us to do. Because every movie that gets greenlit that you see, they already had a treatment and a script when they walked in the door to get the money.
Right. Now
And
the thing is, Nintendo is co-producing this movie, so it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
I doubt that Nintendo would put something out that they feel is like disrespecting the character.
Yeah, no, Nintendo is not stupid. Nintendo, they're a very, very difficult company to get rights and licensing from. They are like, I want to say they're like right behind, they're right behind Sanrio.
Oh yeah,
And
I've heard
and-
all of that, like the bad stuff about people trying to get
Yeah.
rights with Sanrio.
Yeah, and then the other one is oh my god, I'm having a mind blank. Toei Animation. Toei
Yeah.
Animation, they have
Cool.
they have a lot of their stuff like under their thumb. Like they do not let things go. Like the reason there hasn't been an official live action Digimon film is because Toei Animation's just like, no, we don't want it. You're not gonna have it. You're not gonna do it. And I even reached out to Toei Animation when I made my fan film, and I got a word back from the America department of it, and the American, and they basically asked me like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making a fan film for YouTube. It's not for profit. I don't use my YouTube for revenue, so I don't monetize my stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just for fun. If anybody likes it, they'll watch it. Great. I just want to do something to show people that you can do it. And they're like, okay, that's fine, as long as you're not making any money off of it or doing anything like that. And I feel like if I was like a monetized like platform with like millions of followers, they would have instantly told me no.
Yeah,
Or I would have got cease and desist because
they
don't play around.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening, or that's what happened with Team 4-Star and the stuff that they were doing, because they started monetizing after a while, and they started getting what really happened was their voice actors started getting work based on Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and Toei Animation didn't like that, so they were just like, yeah, no, now I guess they had been doing cease and desist letters for like ever, and they kept getting thrown out because the courts were basically like, well, they're not making any money on it, so it's technically because it's a fan film, and because they at the beginning of every episode they would say it's a fan film, support Toei Animation. They were like, the courts would just throw them out. But then once what Toei started saying was, well, they are monetized because they're getting work. Their voice actors are getting work based on this work right here, and the courts took that into consideration. And that's why they had to stop at season. Well, for them it was like season 7, but it was the Cell Saga.
Yeah, and that happens a lot, especially on YouTube. It happens a lot, and I'm starting to see it now on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's like I'm starting to see like I don't know who are the people. You hear those things like, oh, people that run TikTok, they always like, take audio or do copyright claims on people who own the copyright, right? And they have really weird algorithms as far as like what you can and can't show and what you can and can't do. And like I feel like they're starting to crack down a little bit on that more. Like for example, like I made a little thing of John Wick getting shrunk as a little kid, because I had long hair and my son had long hair at the time, and so I was about to cut my hair, so I made a short about John Wick's hiding in some scientist's garage, and he's like, I need to disguise, and the guy like gives him like a t-shirt, and John Wick's gonna kill him, so he like shrinks him, and you see my son, he has a little pen as a little kid, and so like I made that, and it was fine. I had a gun in it. It said fake gun, blah 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 blah. I had all this stuff. I had a Thompson. I had all this stuff in it, and then I made another one recently before I cut my hair, of John Wick, like what the character does when he idles, and he kind of just stands around, and then he like loads his weapon, and then he goes back to just standing around, and they flagged it and took it down because it had a weapon in it. And I'm like, how is it that video gets flagged, and then I get it taken down and get like a thing of like, oh, you can't be using weapons, and it's promoting violence, but the other video I made of him threatening the guy is perfectly fine,
because the algorithm only see the weapon itself and not you talking about it, right? They're not sitting there,
right.
They're not monitoring you when you say something like that. Like a perfect example on the same level, the other day we had an episode where we were talking about how James Gunn was taking over for DC, and this is the reason why we aren't on Facebook anymore. well, we had already been thinking about dropping Facebook as a platform because they keep flagging us for music, even though we have licenses for them.
Right.
So, like I paid for a license for music. So like the music you're listening to right now is because I have a license with Monster Cat. So I'm allowed to play anything that Monster Cat has on their library. What ended up happening is, again, Facebook kept flagging us for copyright infringement because they weren't checking the license. They just saw that it was licensed music.
Right.
What the last straw was when we did that episode on Facebook, we named it DC Under the Gun, right? And it was just a play. It was a pun on his name, right?
Right.
What they ended up doing was Facebook flagged us and took the episode down because the word gun was inside of the name, even though it was GUNN.
It was his last name.
His last name. And they flagged us, and so we were just like, like me mostly, I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, I'm done with dealing with Facebook and their stupid rules.
Yeah, no, I got off Facebook in January because pretty much the same thing. They would flag my videos because I have art list, so I have a lot of music and stuff that I use for my feature films, for my independent films, for different things. They're from artists from Artlist, and that's literally a platform for filmmakers to purchase licensing, purchase stuff, and you keep it forever. So even if your subscription expires, any music you downloaded prior to that, you have rights to, and you can do whatever you want with it. And I had an active, art list, and I would post videos and I would post things, and then they would keep flagging it and taking it down and keep telling me, they would keep doing it. And then finally, I think I did one video where I talked about, COVID. And I said, people should, people have the right to do whatever they want. If they want to get a vaccine, great. If they don't want to get a vaccine, that's on them. Just everybody be careful. Right. And I get flagged. And then I also get, my Facebook gets locked and gets like suspended because it says that I'm pretending to be somebody else and I'm not Chris. And I'm like, what the hell? And so like I did like a whole thing where like I, appealed it, and they got back to me and they're like, oh, the algorithm picked this up, blah, 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 blah. You have the option of deleting your Facebook, or you have the option of, reinstating it. And I was like, I'm just going to delete it because it's not worth it. There's so many things on there. And then plus, like, I would do blast for the film festival. I do blast for different film projects, and they would never get out. People would never see them. And we got more submissions this year without using Facebook than we ever did when we had Facebook, which is crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, we're still on Facebook as far as like, we have communities on Facebook and stuff like that. We just don't broadcast on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, everybody has their own thing. Apparently Twitter's getting crazy right now too. So
that's a whole different monster that we're not going to get into.
No, I'm not on Twitter, and I don't plan to be, because that's a whole different monster. And with all the stuff going on in the news right now, I'm staying away from that.
Yeah, like, we're on Twitter, but like, we don't use it, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, we've never used Twitter like that. We're mostly Instagram, man, more than anything. Which, I mean, technically is owned by Facebook anyways. But I mean, It's funny because we have way more we have way more freedom on Instagram than we do on Facebook.
Yeah, I hear about that. Like, people have more freedom on that platform than they do on the other one. And then also, that's kind of one of the reasons why I went over to TikTok. Originally, I started TikTok just because, my daughter thought some of the videos we were seeing were funny. And so we were like, oh, let's start a video. Let's just start making videos on our own. And then it ended up turning into like, we're going to make random videos and at least get some fans, some following and stuff. And then like I'll make funny videos, just whatever makes me laugh or makes my kids laugh is the stuff that I make. And then randomly I'll put like a trailer for something, or the opening. I think I put like a trailer for Sakura on there. I've put like the opening sequence for Digimon, different things. And I've gotten people going to YouTube, checking out the films and checking out the stuff, or being able to see it. And so it's kind of worked out where like I've built a following and been able to get people to push them that way. But it was never really like something where like, oh, okay, I'm gonna use this like a platform to become famous, because I'm like, I'm afraid of becoming famous. I don't want the fame. I just want to be able to do what I love to do for a living.
Right. No, man. Like I said, I started following you on TikTok, and every time I open up TikTok, there's it like, because you always pop up on my For You page. And dude, every time you have a video up, like especially when you use your digital masks, those things are like almost every video you've done with those digital masks are ridiculously funny, man.
Though the digital masks that I have, they're custom made. So they're different pieces and stuff from different parts and different like ideas and stuff that I've put together. And like I think like the eyes for one of the masks is from like the spider goggles you get at Disneyland, and then the
Nice.
actual helmet that it goes underneath, goes over it, is like it's different pieces from different Halloween costumes with a black spray painted space helmet. So it's like I try and make like a lot of custom costume pieces, or I use stuff like from Digimon. Like I have one of the faces from the ghosts and stuff like that I use that has the little holes poked out so I can see. And yeah, but I try and do stuff that's, you know, kind of, because there's some stuff where like I don't want to learn all the words for these funny words, and so I'm gonna put a mask on because it's funnier when people relate when they don't see a face.
Yeah,
They put themselves in that position.
and I think that's what makes them funnier to me is like whenever I watch the things, like, you know, like you don't, a lot of times with these digital masks, you're putting like the expressions on the mask, and it's like that much funnier to me.
Yeah, and then plus people relate more. They see themselves in that situation,
Right.
and like there's some videos and stuff that I'll see that I die laughing because it's funny, because like as an adult, as somebody who deals with some health issues and deals with some things in life, like I can relate to that.
Right.
And it's hilarious because it's like it makes you connected more to the world, where you feel like, okay, I'm not the only parent whose kid says dad or mom 1,000 times. Like I'm not the only parent who has to deal with certain instances or certain things. You know, I'm like everybody else, because I feel like before COVID, everybody was so like, you didn't know what happened in people's homes. You either had this facade of someone who was perfect or who had problems. And now with the world more connected in the last like 2 or 3 years, you finally get that peek inside where like everybody has the same issues, everybody has the same jokes, everybody has the same things that they go through,
Right.
and it's a positive thing. You know, some stuff's negative, but majority of the stuff is just positive, where you're like, okay, that parent can relate to what I'm dealing with. I don't feel so, you know, isolated that my son or my daughter is doing this and stuff like that. You know, it kind of gives you like that little what's the name, like comfort zone, I guess.
Aaron Watson in the chat. All hail Elon Musk, Mars overlord, bend the knee, bent on world domination.
I believe it.
Bro, what are we building today? We are building the R2D2, or as Latinos say, R2D2.
I always think of that. I see R2D2. I always think of that Robot Chicken one, where they C-3PO and R2D2 are they're in Spanish class, and C-3PO is the only one he can't learn is Spanish, like as far as all of his millions of languages.
Okay.
So this weekend, I'm going to give a summary for everybody just joining and wondering stuff. So we're doing the Violette Film Festival on Saturday, and we're going to have some pretty cool performances during the halftime show, and photo ops and different things, and a step and repeat, red carpet, and all that stuff is all happening at the Merced Theater in Merced, California. And its doors open at 4, show starts at 4:30, and it goes until about 10 o'clock at night. But when you get your ticket, come and go as you please. So you can go check out films early in the day, go have dinner, come back. There's, you know, restaurants, bars, different things all on Main Street. It's a Saturday night, so you can pretty much go wherever you want, get whatever you want, stuff like that, and come back. And it's all within walking distance, which is pretty cool. And then plus, you know, we have really cool films happening from all over the world, so I'm super excited for everyone to check them out and to see them, because I'm like, I'm a little nervous as far as like, you know, I always get like those like bugs right before, like, you know, the butterflies right before.
Yeah.
But once the show starts and once the festival starts and stuff like that, it's super fun for me. I'm just like kind of like getting all the final details now between now and Saturday. It's kind of like, okay, I got to make sure everything's set up so I don't have any worries or any technical difficulties on Saturday.
Right. And I mean, you know, because we have a group chat. I'm actually waiting on. We have a one of the performers is going to be hopping on here in a little bit. Yeah, like one of the performers for the show this weekend, and you know, I definitely want her talk about what she does and everything that everything on there. Just because it's exciting. We've been planning this for months. Even then, what's funny is I was talking to James the other day because I was talking to Van and James, and I brought up the fact that I had just realized, we've been doing all this planning, and I never told James about any of the planning we've been doing. 3 months, right? Like he knew about the Violent Film Festival, but he didn't really. I hadn't told him that we had a whole group chat and we had been planning performances with Kyber Cave and everything like that. And he was like, "Dude, seriously?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that kind of just my bad."
Hey, and it's crazy because it's like it doesn't feel like 3 months. It feels like we've only been talking about it for a couple weeks because I've had so many things like personally behind the scenes. We lost a family member. We've had a few different things go on. People have gotten sick and different things, and so it's been kind of one of those things where it's like with everything going on, like planning the festival happened in the blink of an eye. So like this week, I'm finally going, oh crap. Okay, I got to make sure I have everything ready to go. And then also to answer the question, there will be multiple films showing. So multiple films are going to be showing throughout the night, but they're not going to be showing at the same time. We're going to show them one at a time in film blocks, just because we have one screen. It's an old theater. It's like Art Deco, really beautiful theater with one screen. Eventually down the road, we want to do something to where it gets to like Sundance level where we have multiple locations showing multiple films at the same time, so people can kind of go and do what they want to do. But that's a little bit down the road. We got to get Merced on that same page in order to do that. So, but for now, it's just going to be one film at a time throughout the night as it goes.
Oh, that's still pretty cool, man. Well, since I got to throw this out there, but my boy Forrest just joined us and is in the building now. Forrest, what's up, man?
I brought a special background, something angelic and beautiful.
Jesus. Okay. So Forrest is oh, that is beautiful, man. Forrest is one of our buddies from Kyber Cave.
I have made it my goal that anytime I join Distance Nerding, it is going to be with a green screen of greatness.
I should have thought of that.
Green screen up, dude. La Jack is in the building too.
Waiting on that.
We just rained on your guys' parade. Sorry.
I don't see how you guys rained on our parade.
Well,
you guys were talking about your film festival.
Well, seriously, I'm raining tears because I can't be at Merced to enjoy all this greatness. So I'm like hella sad. Because Forrest is Florida man, which sucks.
Hey, eventually we'll do something to where you can come out and check it out. So eventually we'll do something. Originally we wanted to do like a live stream where we would like live stream the festival or live stream like performances. But we kind of ran into like some, licensing issues with some of the films that are being screened where they're just like, we don't want that to happen on the internet and stuff like that. So eventually we'll get to a point where if we do like a festival, you'll be able to see stuff as it goes on, but it's like a little ways out.
So I'm tardy to the party.
Same.
I have a question. What kind of films do you show?
So we show short films from all over the world, and they range from animated films, fan films of popular franchises. We show drama, action, adventure. The only films that we don't really show is anything that has to do with like nudity or anything that has to do with like sexual content. Other than that, we try and make it. We try to make it an event to where everybody can go with their families. And then this year we're doing something a little different where the first 2 film blocks are rated G films, everybody to enjoy. The third film block is PG-13, so it's a little more action oriented, a little more edgier. And then the final film block, which is like around 9 o'clock at night, is more a date night for older audiences because it's like TV mature. So there's some films that have cuss words in it, some films that have blood in it, horror genre, stuff like that. Because we want to give everybody a chance to see, different films because they have different tastes. And then also because when you get a ticket, you can come and go as you please. So some people are going to buy. Some people would buy a ticket. They'd go have a nice dinner and then just show up at the end of the night for the films that they want to see, or reverse. They can go see films with their family and stuff like that. And then when their kids get rowdy or they want to go have dinner or they want to just leave, they can go ahead, head out. And if they want to come back, they can come back. But that's kind of like how we're trying to set everything up. We're trying to do all the family fun stuff earlier in the night, and then around like that 7 o'clock, 7:30 mark, where people usually go to dinner and the kids are usually for the night. That's when the films start changing to more action-oriented stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that means around that time, me and Van are going to go on a date because James isn't coming.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to be there either. I have a memorial that day. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry, dear.
It ended up being, like because when they gave us the date for it, I was like, oh, I've got a film festival that I've already committed to. And then when James had told me on the back end that he wasn't going to be able to make it, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not gonna flake on him. We've been planning this out for months.
Yeah, I know how tough that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody would like to have Philippe there, but I also know that the person whose memorial it is would probably prefer for him to go do to not prefer it, but I think they would encourage it and they would be okay with it.
Yeah. He was a big film buff, so I think he would have encouraged me to go to the film festival and do that. Plus, he was a big supporter of the show too. So
that's excellent.
That's tough. Like recently, I had lost a family member, and they happened to had passed the day after my son's 3rd birthday. And so on my son's birthday, this was the first time it landed on a Saturday, and it's the only time it's going to be on a Saturday until he's like 10. And it's like we had a party planned, we had all this stuff because it's post COVID, things are a little easier now, and so we kind of ended up just spending the day with my son. But it was one of those things where like the family and that family member was a really amazing person. And they they would have wanted my son to just have a happy day, and so we didn't have a party for him, but we made sure that he was happy that day because he didn't know what was going on and stuff. But it's like we
had a wedding 2 days after.
My family had a wedding the day after the funeral. So the funeral happens, and then like the next day, another family member had a wedding planned.
Wow.
And it was one that I didn't go, and my close family didn't go just because we couldn't. Like it was too much.
Yeah.
But
there isn't enough time to process. I used to work in the funeral industry up until recently. Like I gave 5 years to it, and I got to tell you, even working in it, it doesn't change anything. It just hurts worse. And when families, and I'm so sorry I had to go through that. When families put events like that super close together, especially when you're planning months and months and months for a wedding, something as great as that, and then you have to shift gears literally from grief to joy.
Yeah.
And your body's not built that way. It's just not. And I've seen so many grieving families come through. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to steal thunder here. It freaking believe me when I say, and this is God's honest truth, my heart absolutely goes out to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No, and it's one of those things where it's like, with you guys' loss and everything like that, it's make sure that their spirit lives on. So remember them.
Yeah.
I guess, and treat your family right, and
and weddings and funerals should not be the only time in your life where you have reunions.
Exactly.
Just throw this out there. When Jackie says we had a wedding, she means our wedding.
Our wedding. Yeah.
Oh. Well, congratulations. I didn't know.
Our wedding was 2 days after
it happened.
Oh God.
So,
sorry.
it was a weird time. And then in addition to that, one of my best friends, she had lost her grandpa a couple weeks before, and she comes up to my office and she goes, this is probably like anybody who's my friend is my best friend. Not, this is just one of my really good friends. And she comes up to my office and she goes, "You're going to hate me." I said, "You can't come to my wedding because your grandpa's funeral is that day." And she goes, "Yes." And I go, "That's okay." She's like, "No, I'm going to make it work." So she went to the service and then left right after the service and came to the wedding. But I was like, "You do not need to come." Like, I'm sure our whole thing will be a blur anyways. But yeah, so
But I mean, it also meant a lot that Jackie meant enough to her that she still made it to the wedding. So
That's
yeah,
outstanding.
And luckily, actually, so we live in Sacramento. My coworker lives in Sacramento. It happened to be, I don't know if you're familiar with the Bay Area or any at all. Fours, maybe you're not. Maybe you are. I don't know. It happened to be her grandfather's service was only like 20 minutes from where we were getting married.
Wow.
It was not in Sacramento.
Well, that's like one of those things where it's like the right place at the right time for things to happen and stuff, especially in the instance of how far it was, because it's like that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's right. Tyler is going to be at the film festival with me on Saturday. So me, Tyler, and Van are going on a 3-way date, and it's going to be amazing.
Van, our van, Van.
Yeah, that Van.
Oh,
James, he goes, "Yay, I'm Jackie's best friend."
So is anybody from Kyber Cave besides me on here right now?
Like in the chat or on the
like do we know if anybody from Kyber Cave is watching right now?
I don't think anybody is. I think you're the only one.
I don't know who.
Good, because it's been eating at me, and I got to tell you something that's going to make you flip your absolute Shiite.
Oh, go for it.
Can you take a guess as to what will be happening on April the 13th?
April the 3rd. That's pretty far out. On April
5 months. It's 5 months. It's 5 months. It's 5 months and 3 days.
Related?
Huh?
It's Kyber Cave related?
Possibly. Mostly, yes.
The one are like their little dual thing. I don't know what they call them.
No, bigger than that.
What is that called though?
Are you coming out here?
Yes.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And take a guess how long I'll be there.
2 weeks.
Huh?
2 weeks.
11 days.
Whoa. That's a European vacation.
It totally is.
So we're cuddling, right?
You're gonna have to push Mrs. Fours out of the way, but yes.
We're gonna cuddle and we're gonna stroke beards, right?
Well, he might have something to say about that.
No, he's upset that he's not in the beard stroking, contest, and then he's gonna have to come out from Chicago.
You can't. He can't be. Look at that glow. Look at that shimmer. Look at that shine. You don't want to mess with that. It's angelic.
That's an orgasmic beard.
It absolutely
I haven't
is.
shaved in a couple
You could
days.
say it's climatic.
That's all bad. Like this right here, this is the farthest I can grow. Like I can't.
It's still
I can't
sexy,
grow a
bro.
beard. Yeah, I
It's
can't
still
grow.
sexy, bro.
And the funny part is, my wife will not let me shave this, like at all.
Nor
Because
should she.
Yeah, I shave this. I look like I'm 16, and so like I can't. I have 2 kids, and man, I got the dirtiest look when I was 22, and my wife was 20, 21, and we went and took our daughter to Kohl's. We got the dirtiest look from a random stranger who basically called us out and said teenagers shouldn't have kids, and I'm like. I'm old enough to drink. What the hell? And then the lady corrected the lady, and the lady was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you guys just look so young." So it's always that thing of like, I can't shave this because then I show up with a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. Someone's really gonna give me dirty looks.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's just all bad.
That's crazy.
I can tell you stories about the first time we met, and then when I'm
gonna refill my water. I'll be right with you.
Yeah, when I first shaved my beard, and she literally cried.
Yeah. Well, he went from like Mountain Dew to like Four Loko in like 2.5
Oh man,
seconds.
that's all bad.
Because I had my beard was down to my chest when we met.
It was scraggly. It was scraggly, but that's how I met him. And then he cut it, and I was like, Honestly, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. So, not that I like. Okay, so I met him, and he was kind of scraggly looking, and I was like, okay, good. Like, he's probably like girls aren't probably like after him because he is a little scraggly looking. And then when he trimmed everything and like got groomed, I was like, wow, he's really cute, and girls are gonna steal him from me. And that's probably why I was so upset. But now we're
and it's like now 7 years
lifers.
later, we're married, so it's like
Honestly, he could probably cut his. I like the way that like his beard and his hair are now. Like I think it looks really good on him. But
Jackie,
yeah.
you're too damn cool for anybody to steal him from you. You're too damn cool.
You don't know me,
I
buddy.
tell her that. I tell her all the time.
I don't.
You know saved Jackie. You don't know pre-saved Jackie.
It's okay. It's okay. I know to have enough respect to honor my friends on camera the way that I do.
You
That's
know,
free.
save Jackie. You don't know pre-save.
You know what's crazy, bro? Then this is like, I'm going to tell you how big this is. Okay. I've never been on a plane.
What?
It gets better. I have never. Yeah, we're going to play I Have Never. You ready?
Are we playing Never Have
Here,
Ever?
here we go.
Okay. All right. I'll go first. Round robin. I'll go first. I have never been further west than Ohio.
Oh no.
Oh, you haven't lived, man.
Never been further west than Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh man.
So when you come out here, where are you like going? Are you going to be in Northern California, Southern California?
So only 2 people know.
Okay.
Only 2.
Well, now everybody that's watching.
Me and Philippe.
Mezzo will be picking me up.
Okay.
Nice.
And Mrs. Fours knows that I'm coming. But that's it. I'm going to make the official announcement tomorrow night on Kyber Cave After Dark.
It's funny because you keep saying Mrs. Fours, and I'm thinking your wife, and then I realize you're talking about Aubrey. So I'm like,
No. That's Mrs. Sikowski. Aubrey is Mrs. Fours.
That's funny.
I don't know the difference.
She's his Kyber Cave wife.
Oh, okay.
It's like a work wife, but better because you don't want to be at work. I want to be at Kyber Cave.
Okay. And so
for you, Phil.
We talked about memorials. We talked about weddings. Now what are we talking about?
Okay, so it's never have I ever. So
never have I ever.
So it's either I think we should go north. Phil, never have you ever what?
Yeah. Never have I eaten a vegetable.
No, he eats spinach.
We know you don't eat pickles.
Because pickles suck.
But we saw you eat the pickled chicharron.
And I was gagging the entire time. It was terrible.
And they sucked.
They sucked.
Do you have any more?
He has 4 bags of them.
Are there any in your office?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he took them with him because he knew I wasn't going to eat them.
Okay.
You know, had I participated in the prizes the other night, I would have traded my prizes for one of those bags. I'm not lying.
He's watching right now. I mean, so Tater 88. That's Tyler.
Tater salad.
He just
I'm
said,
stoked, man. I can't wait to see you guys.
He's excited to see you, man.
Okay, is it my turn? Never have I ever been to Disney World?
Really?
No, never been. Disneyland, yes. Disney World, no.
You're not missing much.
I get so I get so many mixed reviews. I have my supervisor, she's from Michigan and she's never been to Disneyland, but she's been to Disney World like 30 times or something like that. And whenever she says something about it, she'll be like, Disney World, the only Disney park that matters. Sorry, California. And I'm like, dude, Disneyland is where it all started, man.
It's
I've
true.
I've been to both, and I can tell you right now that I prefer Disneyland.
Mm.
But there is some really cool stuff that they have at Disney World that I wish they had at Disneyland.
Like what?
Like for example, like Test Track. I know they have cars at Disneyland, but I wish they had one that was more a little bit different. And then kind of more variety of rides. Some of the characters that they have, and then also now they're finally starting to do it, but like the Mickey's Runaway train that they have over there, like that ride, they're finally starting to do it in Toontown. And so there's some exclusive rides like that I kind of wish. And they have like a giant AT-AT walker in front of their Star Tours. They have like photo ops. They have like stuff like that that's really cool that my kids would enjoy. I kind of wish they had that stuff here, or at least some style of it. But I mean, they can keep the safari animals over there. I'm terrified.
Gotcha.
Like
Chris, right?
I want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
The whole reason I want to go to Disney World is because like the exclusive stuff that they have there. I want to experience that stuff. Right. Same thing like the Tron ride from Beijing. They're building that at Disney World right now.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of the lightning hitting the ground there.
It's true.
I was gonna say, other than that, I don't like Florida. No offense, man. Forrest,
I hate it here.
I was gonna say, I got stationed in Florida for a mission, and it sucked. I hated being in Florida, dude.
I've only been to the Miami airport.
Yeah.
Oh well, then you were in the worst part.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
So
You weren't in the worst
loud,
part.
and they don't translate anything to English.
Actually, I'll tell you what. People think Miami is like the worst, and then some people are like, no, Orlando has the most crime and it's the most terrible place. Let me tell you something. Jacksonville, Florida is where you don't want to go.
I've been to Jacksonville. It sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in the Panhandle. I've been to Jacksonville. I didn't really go that far south in Florida. I was mostly in the Panhandle in the top area because I was doing a mission in support of 7th Group, which is up, on the higher parts. Well, I guess technically I was a little further south when I went to SEER school, but I mean, like, it wasn't like I was visiting in the swamps of Florida. I was, surviving in the swamps, and it sucked.
Chris, never have you ever what?
Never have I ever been out of the country.
That was my next one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never gone. No, I take that back. I went to Mexico when I was little. Okay, never have ever been to Canada.
Yeah, that's
I
what it's all about.
Yeah, I went to Mexico and I was like on a cruise. I don't know if that would technically count, but no, yeah, like there's some places that I want to visit. Like I want to go to Japan someday.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
Yes,
I have some friends that live over there, and my wife and my son, they watch Tokyo Zebra and YouTube channels and stuff like that about everything to what to do over there and different things, and we watch a lot of those YouTube videos on the cuisine, the food, the atmosphere, where to go, and we want to go, and we were planning on maybe going, like we would have gone now in 2020 or 2021, but when COVID hit, that pushed the plans out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of waiting right now a little bit for my son to get a little older before we go, because he's 3 right now. So we're waiting for him to get a little older so he can handle the flight over there. And then also when we go over there, there's more stuff we can do with him because he wouldn't, be so little and stuff that he can enjoy a little bit more. Like we went to Florida for the first time when I was 10 and my brother was 5. And my brother doesn't remember shit from going. So we want to take my son to where he'll remember some of the stuff, at least, or have some kind of a hold of what the memory was and stuff. Because to be honest, we go once, we don't know when we would go back again. I want to make it a regular thing, kind of going different places and stuff, but
yeah,
the world is kind of a crazy place. So we've been to Florida. I've been to Florida a few times. The last time I went to Florida was for a job. We went to Miami, landed in Miami. We stayed at the Diplomat Hotel right there on the beach, and it was one of the coolest things every day. I got to meet Tony Little. I got to meet Bill Wallace, a famous martial artist. I got to interview different people and camera and go around and stuff like that. But it was one of those things where it was like, okay, we're gonna go film something. It was day perfect beautiful outside, and then like 10 minutes later it was storming and there was lightning and it was terrifying. And we're driving in the car and there's like, you can't see out of the windshield because of the wind and all the stuff. It was one of those things where it's like, this is not like how it is in California, and I am not used to this. I didn't like it at all.
Every day. It rains every day, like around 11, and it's just 1,000% humidity all day. I hated Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally is.
California is not that bad. I mean, there's some parts of California that are bad, but no. I prefer living in California.
From my understanding, like according to the averages, I'm not expecting miracles to happen, but I imagine middle of April when I get there, it'll be what, 68 during the day and 52 at night ish.
That depends on what part of California you go to. Okay.
Yeah.
Flying to Sacramento.
Yeah, some parts of Sacramento, like Merced area, where I'm about almost 2 hours away from Sacramento, where I'm at, and there's some points in the year, especially like in April, May, June, where you'll get some days that are like beautiful spring days that are like in the 70s, 60s, and then there'll be one off day that's like almost 100. It's really weird. It just depends on whether there is a fire going on. It depends on whether there is like a hot or cold thing coming, because we live kind of like in a bowl because of the mountains and stuff like that. So if there's something affecting and going on like in Arizona, Nevada, or where the mountain range is, it affects our weather in the bowl. So we're different than like LA. LA is pretty constant certain times of the year because it's not in a bowl. It's more closer to the ocean. But, us, we kind of get the roll of the dice depending on what everybody else is doing in the state. So,
okay,
I mean, this sounds kind of about right there.
I would say for Sacramento, I'm from the Bay Area, where it's pretty much like the same year round.
Yeah, it's like in the 60s every day in the Bay Area.
I will say that in April, the only thing that may or may not, you don't really have to be concerned about anything really weather-wise, to be perfectly honest with you. The only thing is, and it's not, we're drought prone, and I don't read the Farmer's Almanac or anything, but April showers bring May flowers. So April can still be like a rainy month, but it's not one of those things where like it rains every day. It just kind of depends on what Mother Nature decides to do. Sometimes you can have a really wet April, and sometimes you don't. And
so
most of the time
basically,
it's nice.
So bring jeans and flannels and hoodies, but also shorts and t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring everything. Like dress for all weather.
I would say like it's probably like in Sacramento, it's probably not going to be like 100 in April. I don't think.
It's 100 in Florida, not 100 in April.
But global warming has made
not in April.
I was gonna say it's made weather in Sacramento intolerable. So I mean,
the weather's been a little weird. Like Merced wise, like like 3 weeks ago, I was wearing shorts outside because it was like in the 90s, and the past like week it has been freezing. And last week, in the beginning of this week, it was raining, like pouring rain out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden it's sunny, but it's really, really super cold. So it's like the weather kind of certain parts of the year, it's unpredictable, but it's kind of predictable. Like it can just be like, hey, just bring some pants, but with those like zippers where you like unzip it at the knee and you turn them into shorts. So that way you're good, because like no matter when you come over here, you'll be perfectly fine.
Just bring convertible jorts, you're fine.
There you go.
Yeah, and April's not really a depending on how wet the winter is, April is not usually a major like fire season. I feel like fire season when it's really bad is like August to November.
Yeah.
And even then it's, you're not really in a fire zone. You just have to deal with like the smoke and it looking like Judgment Day.
Pretty much.
But we had a fire pretty close to us, but it was like we weren't necessarily in any danger of it. It was just super close to us.
Well, I planned it really. I planned it far out because I'm going to save a little bit, but also my goal. It gives me a refresher for my goal, because like I mentioned the other night, ever since I started my fasting journey, I've lost 40 pounds. So my goal in the next 5 months before I get there is I want to lose the rest of the weight that I've lost. So I want to lose 47 more pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That'll put me at an even keel 200. I won't have a little gut anymore, and you guys will see what my face really looks like.
So you're gonna come down here and just be completely stacked.
Or lean, depending upon how I decide to do this.
By stacked, I mean like hot.
Yes, I'm just screwing with you.
Well, I'm a look the same, so no.
Nah, it's something. It's good to have something to work for. I've never met any of y'all, you know. I'm one of those types of people where it's like I need to meet face to face. You know, I've never been out there. I've never been on a plane. My dad used to take vacations like every single year. He'd go to Philly because my dad plays in an Irish band, and every year he would go to Philly and play, and then my mom would take a vacation and go see her sister because she also lived in Philly, but it was like different time of the year. My aunt was a performer, so she would go up to support her. But you know, ever since I've been married, we've never been able to do things like that. It's completely been about the kids the whole time. Like we've given everything to Luke and Leia, everything. Not the characters, my children, Luke and Leia.
I was gonna say you named your
kids are named Luke and Leia.
I actually named my kids Luke and Leia. Yes,
that is awesome.
And Luke's out of the house in a year and a half. Leia, she's in high school. You know, their pappy is over here all the time since mom passed away, and it's perfect. You know, she can go on a vacay. I can go on a vacay. I can come out and meet you guys like in person. And 11 days, we're gonna blow this thing up. Just for real, like this is the time. This is the time to lose the weight. This is the time to get healthy. This is the time to feel better about myself. Put new clothes on, get out there, and just have 11 days of memories I will never forget for the rest of my life.
That's really good.
Forever, never, forever.
I got to be heading out right now because I got to finish some stuff up for some sound checks and stuff for tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for having me on. I appreciate it and everything. And so I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on Saturday, but I'll see you guys on Saturday for everything. So
Good to meet you, Chris.
yeah, good to meet you guys. Take care, and hope you guys have a good rest of the night. Everything. All right.
Hell
Be
yeah.
safe at your event, brother.
Real quick before you take off, man. Where can everybody find more information about you, man, or any pluggables aside from the film festival itself?
So right now, you can go on to Violette Films. You see the spelling right here. It's VIOLETTE film. You can go on YouTube, type in Violette Films. You'll see this logo. This logo right here, and that's our YouTube account. It's going to have a link to our website. Our website, we're fixing it right now currently at the moment, but you can also find more information and stuff on us pretty soon. We're going to be restarting an Instagram page. We're going to be restarting some things for, online promotions and stuff. And so the festival is kind of something to just kick that off because we're going to kind of reboot kind of what we do. But YouTube is the best place for it to check us out. So it's YouTube/Violet Films.
Hell yeah, Chris, dude. Again, we appreciate you coming on, man. We, at least me and Tyler and Van and the rest of the Kyber Cave and of course Twilight Nights. We'll see you on Saturday, man.
Yeah, I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll be there early and stuff, and I'll keep in contact with you guys today and tomorrow. All right.
All right, brother. Sounds good, man.
Bye.
All right. You take care. Bye, guys.
He's super cool.
Oh yeah, attention all on Phil now.
I mean, yeah.
I tagged Phil in this earlier, but there's this. I don't know what kind of Instagram this is, but it's like a digital art Instagram, and they do this like cute, like art of like different things, and they made a Star Wars one.
Ooh.
Where are we at?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
And no, I'm showing Force, not you. Anyway, so they made it, and I guess they don't know a lot about Star Wars. So they had all the different characters, and then underneath the characters, it has the name of the characters. And they referred to the stormtroopers as clone troopers.
Oh no.
And I guess they got like ripped for it, and so they like reposted it. They were like, "We've been made aware of the error. We're fixing it."
Leave it to this toxic Star Wars fandom to rip into those folks about that.
Well, because she also tagged us in it, and I actually did put a comment on there, and I said, clone troopers are more badass than stormtroopers anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm like, well, they're not wrong, right? I mean,
No, they are, because stormtroopers at that point, stormtroopers are no longer clones.
okay. Whatever. So what are we working on?
So I am currently building R2D2. It looks like it's just his foot.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like stuff that's kind of like you see kind of what it's going to become. So like his foot extends right here. I
Mhm.
want to say this is probably his front foot, like the one that pops out of the front of his body. Yeah.
Dude, you inspire me so freaking much. Like just what you're like the whole building things you do, that almost makes me want to like do a thing on Kyber Cave called build a sound font with 4s.
That would be fun,
And
dude.
just like have everybody come in and just like throw their 2 cents in. It's like, no. Make the hum sound like Luke's from episode 6. No. Make the Clash from this, and like we just throw some asinine sound font together, and then if it turns out good, I'll just throw it on the website, and everybody who helped me build it gets it for free.
Nice. Well, see, look, I'm noticing now that this is the front frame of his body, right? So like there's little pieces right here in the front where if you push it, not fully there yet, but this comes out and that looks like it's the when the little probe that he has when he like interfaces with computers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here on the other side, it's he has like a mechanic arm. This is pretty cool.
Anybody looking forward to their moist makers? Anybody?
Okay. I am gonna have to do a cheat day for that day. Now that you've said that, no, seriously, real wife and I have been very, very good about counting our carbs this week. Like I think every single day, she and I have managed to keep it under 50 carbs for the whole day. So we've done good. Like in a week's time, I think I went from 258 down to 247 just in a week. So not eating sugar makes the difference.
Oh yeah.
And walking, lots of walking.
Walking is good. I like to walk. I don't walk as much as I used to because when I worked in Berkeley and I took public transportation, I used to have a Razor scooter, like a push kind.
Oh, cool.
And I used to take the BART train in the morning and then work, and then I would scooter back to it was like 6 miles. And I didn't do it every day. I didn't like push myself. It was like it's like a nice trail that like runs along the BART is kind of like a subway system, but above ground and below ground.
Mm-hmm.
But the trail like runs like along it, and it's like people walk to, and it's not like deserted. Every time I explain it to people, they're like, "Oh, that sounds dangerous," and I'm like, I'm not gonna say like nothing ever happened, but it didn't, like not during like commuter time when like everybody's out, and this one kid tried to challenge me to a race one time, and I was like, no, I'm old.
Come on, race me.
I used to walk it. I would walk it, and it would take me like, I don't know, like hour and a half to walk it.
Yeah.
But then I got the scooter, and it was just fun to go on my scooter and then just walking like to and from the BART station. But now, like where I work, I have a parking lot right outside, and my car is not that far outside of my house. So anyway, so now I just don't do it as much. So I have to sort of like force myself to like move more. But it's hard to do that. The way that I get myself to move more, either like now it's like cold. Now it's cold outside, so I can't really like go for a walk necessarily because it's so freaking cold.
Yeah.
But I'll go to the gym. But my incentive is I've been trying this year. I have been trying to be better at reading. Just like any kind of book, just whatever I want to read. So I've been trying to. So my incentive to going to the gym is to read the books that I want. Even though, like, as much as I love to like just sit on the couch and read a book, it's more of an incentive to like move my body to go to the gym. And read my book.
That's great.
Yeah. And now, what the heck? Wow. And then, yeah, so I used to do that. And then now I don't get to use my scooter as much.
I was gonna say, fun fact: Jackie doesn't like the way I train at the gym.
No.
How do you train at the gym?
I train pretty fucking hard.
Do you really?
Yeah. So,
I'm kind of a hippie when it comes to working out.
so again, former Army Ranger. So, my mentality is hit muscle failure, or I didn't do anything.
See, what I'm planning on, and I don't know if I'm crazy, but the 6 weeks leading up to my departure, yeah, I am going to work myself up to being able to do the official Rocky IV workout. Stallone's workout he did for 6 weeks before filming that movie.
Wow.
And that is pain.
Oh yeah. One of my mantras back in the day was pain is just weakness leaving the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used to tell me that bullshit too. And pain is just pain is temporary or some bullshit.
But seriously, I want to be able to do it.
Yeah,
So
oh, sorry.
So no. I'll finish with this. I just want to know that whatever I look like when I get there, I want to be sure that I did my absolute best.
Yeah.
I have news for you. We're good. We're just gonna love you anyways.
But he's doing.
I'm gonna go cry. James in the comment section says, "Jesus, I gotta get out of hosting Persona. I'm not hosting this show." Like,
I'm not hosting it.
Jeez, I'm crumbling. So James in the comments has to say, no, see, he's asking, do I want a wine taste, craft, or micro brew hopping? So here's the deal. I don't drink at all because the last time I had something to drink, which was years ago, I felt like the like where your gallbladder is, like on your right side, it felt like it was on fire. And I'm like, yep, it's my sign from God. Stop drinking. So I did.
Good for you.
I just quit. I just quit. Oh, there's another fun one. Never have I ever been drunk one time in my whole life. Never. Fours is a square, man.
Look at that square bear.
That is something. That is something. I don't know. I can either take it or leave it with. Well, I like it every once in a while. But if I never drink again, it wouldn't. I don't think I would. I think I'd be okay.
I'm more of a social drinker than anything, so I'm not like, somebody where it's like I have to drink every day. It's like, I'll have a drink every now and then, but I'm not somebody who needs to drink to do anything. Like, I'm one of those guys that can go out and have fun without any kind of alcohol.
Dude, you are one of the most entertaining people I've ever known. Please stay sober.
You know what? I'm a happy drunk. I'm not the kind of person that gets sloppy and stupid when I'm drunk. And I'm very much like, it's basically this, but like on a scale of 10 times.
Wow.
James wants to find a con while you're out here. Don't you guys have something in April?
MegaCon. And I think they pushed it back to March for 23. And MegaCon's fun, but what really made it fun is that my buddy Chris, the Jakku junk trader saber installer from Montana, makes his way all the way here. He stops in to see his mom. Then he gets over here, and we go to MegaCon. And I got to tell you, one day with that con, it's enough. One day is all I need at that con. I used to go to cons for like 3 days, and I'm like, what am I doing? All I'm doing is standing in line all day long for a picture that costs way more than it should.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. I love Mark Hamill to death. I love Luke Skywalker. I named my kid after him, but I'm not going to pay $286 to stand in line for 5 hours to get a pic with him because he'll never remember me, and he'll make a stupid pose and wear an ugly ass sweater.
It's a trip how expensive Mark Hamill is, like, to do anything. Like I've read, you know, how much he charges for any appearances.
Tell him to act his wage.
That's ridiculous.
All right. I'm kind of thinking let's get back into this bracket.
Yeah,
Finish this up.
let's do it.
That's why I brought up the moist maker.
I'm so sorry, Jackie. I didn't mean to derail us.
No, you didn't.
But I think that's actually what James was mentioning earlier. He was doing the same thing.
Yeah. James is not the one running the show.
He's not.
Actually, so these are the things that I have on top of my notebook. I have moist maker and my sandwich.
My sandwich.
My sandwich.
I have those on here to remind Philippe that he needs. Actually, you were supposed to put that on there for last night for the McRib.
Oh.
Okay, anyway. All right, so we're gonna get
My sandwich.
we're gonna get back down to business. We're gonna do a recap of the recap of the recap.
While we're recapping the recap.
We're recapping the recap.
I think we should recap that.
So we have Thanksgiving sides. Last week, we got down to on the north, up in the north. Was it the north? North. Yeah, up in the north, we had mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes won the one up in the north.
As much as Matt hated that.
And then in the west, lumpia took the win for the west. And
Yes.
then for the south, huh?
So you have to eat the lumpia.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait to try it. I really can't wait to try that.
It's,
I need a recipe.
It's delicious.
I need you to send the lumpia recipe to me right now.
Then down in the south, mac and cheese moved on to the next round. Then we were working on the east. We got to gravy versus cranberry. Gravy, because you needed to make the moist maker.
Exactly.
Yes, but that I'll say this that category wasn't fair because they're both delicious. It wasn't fair.
And then next up we have whoa, what the hell is this?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Wasn't me.
Jackie, I have to comment that I am in love with your late 80s Link hat. It is amazing.
It's not a late 80s Link hat.
It's not.
I know it's not, but back in the day, okay, when Nintendo came out and everybody was losing their minds trying to be Super Mario and Link, that was primarily the hat every freaking 9-year-old in 1989 was trying to get to be Link.
This is my Peter Pan hat. And it has my name on it. See,
I love it.
This is oh, believe it or not, I paid $8 for this.
I miss Hook.
That seems cheap these days. I got this in 2007. 2007? Had to have been 2007. Anyway. Okay. Okay, so I think this says Chinese sticky rice stuffing, which I've never heard of before.
What?
I can't. It's so small. I can't read what it is. I think it says
I don't know.
Chinese sticky rice stuffing.
I've never heard of that one.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Okay, so the fact that you said sticky rice,
I
I can
can't-
visualize that. Like I can see it, rather than utilizing bread with all of your ingredients to make the stuffing, like your bacon and your apple slices and your onion and your celery and all that other stuff. It's just sticky rice with those ingredients, not the bread. So you're basically replacing the bread with the rice.
Yes, it is a thing. I looked it up. It is.
That would okay, Phil. That would be an awkward freaking taste. I'm sorry.
It would.
Like what type of rice? Like what, white rice, jasmine rice, yellow rice? Like what would what?
It's
what-
basmati.
what?
It's the only thing that makes sense. Basmati rice.
Okay. and what would you put? Like what stuffing ingredients would you put in that? I would remove the onions and the apples.
No, anything that is inside a lumpia.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we have to do Chinese sticky rice stuffing with the lumpia. We're just gonna do an Asian takeover.
James said, "If Jackie is Peter Pan, that makes me Wendy.
Oh, that's
Let's
special.
see. It says
I'm her Wendy lady."
Young
sticky rice
Wendy.
stuffing. Oh
Come
yeah,
on,
we should Philippe, we should make this and bring it to Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm looking up a recipe, and of course the recipe's all on the freaking bottom. It's like fried rice.
Ooh.
Oh, so I could probably make it.
Okay, so it's 2 cups sweet rice, also called sticky rice,
Mm-hmm.
vegetable oil,
Ooh.
onion, Chinese sausage, 2 links of Chinese sausage, fresh shiitake mushrooms,
Ooh, Chinese
soy sauce.
sausage. We can change that to linguiça, and yeah,
It says soy sauce, dark soy sauce, low sodium chicken stock, and 2 scallions thinly.
Hold on.
that actually sounds pretty good.
Hold on. You're gonna have soy sauce, dark soy sauce, but low sodium chicken stock? You're putting liquid freaking salt, but they want low sodium chicken
Yeah,
stock?
but
Get the
let me-
freak
let
out
me
of
see.
here with that.
Because
Now there's the salt.
it's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. And then it says, or 1 teaspoon of molasses if you want to stay gluten free, and then 1 cup of low sodium chicken stock. It's probably because you're already putting that much salt into it. So
Yeah,
use
I
the
suppose
low.
you could just get all 3 of those low sodium, just all 3. That would
Or
be
you could
helpful.
just make the chicken, or you can just make chicken. Can you make it?
You can make your own chicken stock, yes.
You can, but the salt draws out the impurities when you make it. So you don't have to put a ton of it. You can make your own so you can control it, but you do have to have some salt in it because that's what draws the impurities off for you to like skim off the top.
Okay.
Sorry. For some reason I thought Ray popped in.
Yeah, that's something we learned in curing meats. Is that salt pulls out all the impurities and all the liquids out of it and everything like that.
Oh, we made a smoked salmon one time, and that's how we found that out.
Ooh, fish. Thank you.
Okay, so are we doing traditional stuffing versus Chinese sticky rice stuffing?
I vote traditional.
Okay, Philippe, what about you?
That Chinese sticky rice sounds really good.
It does.
Like it sounds really good.
James, you need to behave yourself in the freaking comment section there, buddy.
But the thing is that I don't know how well that fits with Thanksgiving. And I think traditional stuffing is more around Thanksgiving. So I'm probably going to go with traditional stuffing on this. Is as good as that Chinese stuffing sounds.
Okay, people in the comments, if you're here, you want to vote for either traditional stuffing or Chinese sticky rice stuffing. Go ahead and get your votes in.
I see what you mean now.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! So it's so funny. He said about stovetop.
Stovetop, get out of here.
My coworker and I were talking about stuffing the other day, and she was like, "Stovetop is the best," and I was like, "Actually, I like Trader Joe's stuffing a lot."
I wanted to try to make like a lower carb stuffing this year, just by utilizing a different type of bread, because I get this bread called Sola, and it's only 7 grams of carbs per bread slice. But considering the fact that I'm making a whole pan of stuff, like I'm either going to have to increase the bacon / sausage or increase the Sola bread. So I'm either going to have a lot of fat or a lot of carbs. Either way, totally bad for me.
I mean, they have. Oh, you know what? You could do this. Is funny because that's actually what I was thinking. What is this? What is that? Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. I was gonna suggest something, but that's not what it is. Okay. I thought I saw something that I was thinking of, but it was wrong. Okay. So we have. I'm gonna vote the sticky rice. I'm gonna vote the sticky rice. What about you, Philippe?
Like I said, I think I'm going with the traditional stuffing just because of
That's 2, 3, 4. That's
Because-
5 for traditional.
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the traditional just because as good as that sounds, I think I'm going like the idea is to go with like, you know, what's the best side on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I know my brother's favorite side is stuffing.
I got a lot of fat from eating a lot of carbs.
James. Oh shit. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna open another bag because we have 5 minutes. So
Okay. All right. So you guys want to hurry? Let's finish this up. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this one with the traditional winning that one. The traditional stuffing. So really, we just have stuffing, regular traditional stuffing versus gravy.
Why?
well, the moist maker.
Yeah.
Gotta have the moist maker, man.
But doesn't stuffing go on the moist maker?
It can.
Like, isn't there supposed to be like bread, turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, stuffing, and then more bread?
Yeah, when dinner rolls were on here, but it got voted off. This is just for like the best. The best Thanksgiving side dish. I mean,
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to.
Lumpia is just gonna win this.
Yeah. I'll vote the stuffing only because the gravy would be like the icing on that cake.
Okay. All right, let's see. What about in the chat? I want Philippe to set up his list delicious Thanksgiving plate, and then when he's about to take a bite, throw a pickle on top.
I love James so much.
James, you can eat all of the penises, sir.
Philippe's plate looks like this:
Looks like-
mashed potatoes and meat. That's it.
Mm.
Maybe mac and cheese. That's what his plate looks like.
Looks like a child's plate.
Mine, on the other
Yeah.
hand, it's so funny. I know we only have 5 minutes, but I'm gonna tell you all this anyways.
Okay.
I was so I don't want to say I'm an amateur writer, but I'm an amateur author, I guess is what I could call myself. And so I get these ideas for stories, and sometimes I make them up, and sometimes I just like tell my own story. But recently, I was I wrote a story about how my dad and I used to go to Hometown Buffet. He never called it Hometown Buffet. He always called it Home Depot.
Home Depot.
And so he'd be like, "You hungry?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "You want to go to Home Depot?" No, not really. "Oh, you're not hungry?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean Hometown Buffet?" Okay. Or no, actually, he wouldn't say no. He'd go, "You just said you were hungry," and I'd go, "Oh, Hometown Buffet. Yeah, I'll go to Hometown Buffet." But when I was writing this story, I like wrote like my whole thought process about how I used to like load up my plate at hometown buffet. So like, I mean, it's like a whole story. I'm not gonna like bore you with it, but I always, when I like, after they go put the ticket down, I would go to the plates and I get a plate, and I'd always go to like where they have like the carved meat, and I'd get carved meat, and then I would always go get like mashed potatoes and gravy or mac and cheese, and then a couple of fries, and then some popcorn shrimp, and then
Wow.
I'd go. This is when I was a kid. And then I'd go down and I'd eat that. And then the second time around, I'd go, and that's when I would like try something new and something that like looked interesting or looked good. And then after that, then I would do like desserts. And when I first started going, I used to get just the cheesecake. And then I discovered Hometown Buffet had the best bread pudding. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I've never had bread pudding as good as Hometown Buffet was. But anyway, that was all I wanted to say. Is I'm very strategic when it comes to like my plates, because I like to try. I like all different kinds of foods, and I like to try different things. So at most like functions, like I usually will go back, not necessarily. I will usually go back twice, not usually for the same thing, but I'll go like for like the staples, and then I'll go back and like try like something new the second time around. But okay, let me see. Where are we at?
I love food talk.
Hold on, so James in the chat, weirdest Thanksgiving food, ambrosia. Who invented that? James, I got an answer for you. White people.
Yes. Casino buffets, of course, because
Because Filipino stereotypes?
no, not at all.
Why is he not on? Why is he not on?
He's got a bunch of sick kids, is what he's got.
He does actually.
No.
That's the reason that he was jumping in and out on Tuesday.
Oh, my mom said her mother made ambrosia, so thanks.
I mean, if we're gonna talk stereotypes, I did say white people.
Yeah, I think two of his kids are sick, and one of them is like a mutant or something.
So Kaya got sick and she got chemo sick. So the two of them are sick. I don't know how Coco's not sick.
Not yet.
Those are the coolest names ever.
Like Kaya, Coco, and Chemo, they're like, the most Islander names ever.
That's
Philippe
so
said-
freaking cool.
Philippe said if we ever have kids, he wants to name our kid Gotham.
Yes, 100%.
I can get down with that.
Think about it, right? It's like middle of the night, baby's crying. All Jackie has to do to get me to go take care of the baby is, babe, Gotham needs you.
And I'll be like,
My
And immediately I'm gonna get up and go, I'm bad, Dad, and just go.
my dad always wanted to name our dog Damn It.
damn it, get off the couch.
Come here, damn it.
Come here, damn it.
Okay. Let's see. She was old enough. She was old.
The conversation your mom and James are having right now.
Your mom.
So your mom said my mother invented ambrosia. James goes, your mother invented ambrosia? She goes, she was old enough.
She was.
Oh.
My mom's parents were old when they had her. Her mom was 42 and her dad was 56.
Goodness.
Uh-huh.
I love that too. I love that.
And my mom's gonna be 70 next year. So
James said that when we have a second child, we have to name them Arkham, and I'm 100% okay with that. Gotham and Arkham.
all right,
For me,
Philippe, what's your vote?
I said stuffing.
Oh, you did. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go stuffing too. I'm gonna go ahead and call this one with stuffing winning it for the East. And next week we have our showcase showdown.
Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum.
I don't think I have that on here anymore. Nope, I got the other one.
Gotcha. That is legally sampleable now, right?
I think so.
Okay.
This.
Alex Trebek, we miss you.
And sweet potatoes with the marshmallow on top. I would never think to do those together. Actually, dude, sweet potato casserole, because that was on the list.
It was on the north. It was up in the north.
Right, sweet potato casserole. If you ever want to try it on date night, when you take Jenny to Ruth Chris, they have it there. It's amazing.
There's so many better places to go to than Ruth Chris.
No, but I mean, like, because I know he's not going to go to Ruth's Chris just to go and try a sweet potato casserole. But
We're gonna go spend like $1,000 at some fancy steak place in San Francisco.
Yeah,
$1,000.
Yeah, it will probably be. No, it'll probably be like $400.
Yeah,
Oh my!
It's my tomorrow's my sister's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
So we're going to this place called Oso in San Francisco.
Okay.
And it is a very expensive steakhouse.
So I'll ask one final question, then I'll shut up. How much spending money should I bring realistically?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to.
It depends on what you want to do.
11 days. I'm probably going to want to get.
What do you like to do?
Well,
do you want to go down to San Francisco? Because Philippe and I could give you the grand tour.
Oh,
so
dude.
Here's the general idea. Okay, this was what I wanted to do. I'm going to be there for 2 Fridays and 2 Sundays. So I will be there live for 2 Kyber Cave After Darks and 2 Saber Rattles.
Nice.
And my hope was that we do it live in one room at one table. 3 cameras set up. Mezzo and I were talking about it. I want to see everybody together. I want to go out to dinners. They were talking about an escape room. Like, I want to see everybody together, but I want at least a day with everybody individually. Like, I want to see Dave. I want to see y'all. I want to see Van at the Kyber Cave store. I want time with Aubrey. I want time with Mezzo and her family. I want time with everybody. This is why I'm coming out, because I've never met y'all face to face. I need to meet people face to face. Like, this is like, I want to, we're on screen and we're all cool and everything, because this is our internet presence. But I really like to be down with friends. Just after 42 years of life, I need real people in my life, and that's why I'm coming out, because I want to get real with people in my life.
What do you like to do with other people?
To be perfectly honest, I don't really care as long as we're having fun. I don't. I mean, I will saber sword fight with Dave and Aubrey. I will sit in the Kyber Cave store with Van and sell stuff. I'll go out to dinner. I'll do whatever.
So the reason why I'm asking is like, because I'm trying to think, because I'm kind of selfish.
And this trip of mine isn't?
No. What I mean by that is I'm trying to think of things that I like to do, and I'm trying to find out like things that you like to do, so that I can figure out something that I not me personally, but like so I can tag along. Because I was just thinking like things that I like to do is like Philippe and I went to Nashville. And we were talking about going to Nashville. We were wedding planning, doing all this stuff. And December of last year, I said, "Are we going to Nashville or not? Because I haven't planned shit yet." And he's like, "No, we should go." And I was like, "I'm calling Visa Concierge. I'm having them figure it out for us." So I called them Visa Concierge, and they figured out our whole trip. But we did really like touristy stuff. Like we went to not the Grand Ole Opry. We went to the original Grand Ole Opry at the Ryman Auditorium. But we went to like Country Music Hall of Fame. We went to Jack Daniels. We hung out in Nashville, went to the honky tonks, and went to like museums and stuff. And I like that. I like that stuff. But then at the same time, like I'm really like Sacramento. I'm starting to like let it into my heart a little bit, but like I lived in the Bay Area for like 30 years, and I feel like the things that I know how to do, like there are a lot of things in the Bay Area that like not everybody who comes to like comes to visit will necessarily do those things.
Right.
But are all like totally worth it. So like most people go to Alcatraz. Alcatraz is great. I personally really like Angel Island. It's a nice walk. You can go get I like to do things like go get like a sandwich at like a really nice like deli in Tiburon, and then go get on the ferry and then go like take a walk and like have like a nice picnic and like look out at the bay and do the different. Philippe and I went there on like some random Saturday, and he ran into one of his friends who was cosplaying there on Angel Island. And there's stuff like that. There's a
they do like war
reenactments.
Not reenactments, but more like they wear like different uniforms from different eras, and he was World War II.
Period clothing.
Yeah, it was like period. Yeah, it's period stuff. But the idea was, the different occupations that the Army had on Angel Island at different times. So they were showing like Civil War uniforms and different things, and what they used the different buildings for. And they it's pretty cool, man. And like I said, my buddy was dressed as a World War II vet, so he was wearing World War II uniform.
That's awesome. I guess the point, honestly, is not to do what I want to do, because I can do that here.
Yeah.
I want to experience the things you all like to do, because it's a brand new experience for me. This trip is to get out and live. I am going to get out and live. I will have a new body, a new self-image, and I just want to get out and live. And I want to do it with all the people who I've, come to love in these past 3/4 of a year. Yeah. So
just be ready to want to buy property in the Bay Area, because that's what most people who visit San Francisco do.
Well, thankfully I'm poor, so that's the plane ride's probably going to bankrupt me.
There you go. That's why we moved to Sacramento, is because we can't afford to live in the Bay.
But no, seriously, I'm looking very forward to this. James says, see a show by Anthony. That was already in the books. He has no idea. He has no clue.
That's in Modesto, or no, Lodi, I think.
Lodi.
Yeah. So Jackie, I know you don't know who he is, but
I was just I don't know if that's a dig at me, the James, oh my god, Rancho Kenobi.
Rancho Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was a dig at me.
No, it's an actual place.
Oh, when are you gonna have that guy on?
Which guy?
The guy that did the pictures at our wedding.
He hasn't scheduled yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's the whole thing I'm trying to get.
I can't remember what his name was.
Ricky.
Oh, okay.
But no, so yeah, I mean, that's another thing is across the street from Palace of Fine Arts, there is not Rancho Obi-Wan, but the Lucas Arts studios are over there.
Oh, wow.
And there is a golden Yoda that you can, or it's bronze, but they call it the golden Yoda. That it's a fountain that people go and like they find, and then they take a picture with it.
I've seen it because they take they have this zoom up shot of it on the Star Wars webcast, so Star Wars show.
Yeah. So we'll if we decide when you come out with us and we go to the city, I'm taking you there for sure.
Oh my god, you have to go to Frank Fats though.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay.
Make a whole day out of it.
Yes, we are.
It's in Sacramento, so you can go with anybody. You don't even have to go with us. You just go.
You need to go to Frank Fats.
Don't count your carbs.
Oh no, I plan on. Oh geez, I may have to break out my Medea voice for this one. Yeah, y'all look at here. I'm about to come out looking fine. I'm gonna come home real fat. Fat as hell. Y'all better understand that right the hell now.
Jackie, again, for more context, okay? In the Kyber Cave chat, me and Fours are constantly doing like voices and just, like today, we had a Kermit off. Right? Kermit as Darth Sidious. It was
oh my god.
All right. So yeah, when you come out, we will just give us a heads up, because if it's during the week, Philippe hopefully will have some PTO by then.
Yep. I started
And
doing PTO again in January. I overused my PTO, so I haven't had PTO for over like 6 months.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I, on the other hand, I am blessed enough to have so much PTO. I have to take off like 2 days a month just so that I don't cap out on it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I've been there for 4 years. The funny thing is when Philippe was with Amazon, he had
So much.
so much PTO, and now he hasn't had any for like 6 months.
Oh
But,
man.
yeah.
Well,
So let us know. Let
I
us
was
know
gonna
when you're.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
I mean, I'm saying this like we're never going to talk to you again, but I just want to put a blanket statement out there is just once you figure out, what your itinerary is and, who can do what and what days, just let us know kind of like the days that are left over and we'll get those days off and fill in those gaps and we'll take you to some cool places.
Mhm.
I am freaking out with excitement.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, so my PTO, when I first got there, they didn't really know how the policy worked because it was like a newer department with AAA. And so my boss was basically like, yeah, no, because a lot of startup companies will have like unlimited PTO. So he kind of treated it like that, right? Where it was like, okay, yeah, no, just ask for it off and you can have it off. And eventually HR got in touch with my boss and was like, so you're not supposed to be giving your guys PTO like that. So they you have to start like you can't approve PTO for guys that don't have PTO time anymore. And the majority of us were all like negative like 40 PTO. So basically we can't take PTO off until we earn it back, which mine I start earning PTO again like on December 28th.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like for us, because we took 2 vacations this year. So I mean, thankfully, I was able to before that policy was enacted, we were able to take those vacations. But like had it been the way it was supposed to, we Nashville would have been the only one we would have done, Jack. We wouldn't have been able to do Cancun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all right. Well, I guess we're about 15 minutes over, so we should wrap this up and do pluggables.
Yep. No, we've been having a whole bunch of fun having our conversations and everything like that. Now, before I jump into pluggables, guys, if you're digging the music that's been playing this entire the background of the show, it's all by one artist. It's a playlist for one artist. Check out Tokyo Machine. He is awesome. He does a lot of gaming inspired music, and not music that's like inspired by a game, but it's all 16-bit. So like pretty awesome dude. So check him out if you guys are interested. Monster Cat music. Again, his name is Tokyo Machine. Getting into this, Force.
Yes.
Where can everybody find you? Give me your pluggables, man. Tell everybody about everything you're doing, any appearances you're doing, aside from April when you're coming out here to invade California. And we are going to flaunt you around.
Oh my. All right, so here's the dealio.
This is okay. Here's the funny thing, right? We're doing pluggables right now, and your wife shows up.
Aren't you, Mrs. Fours? Aren't you supposed to be nuzlocking?
I was, but we wiped.
Oh shit!
Oh, my Pokemon died.
Oh, geez, I'm crow. Well, we can just jump from one call to another here. All right, plug-in Fours. Here we go. You can find me and my work at FoursFX.com. If you own a prop saber that you have purchased from anywhere in the saber community, I am going to plug the Kyber Cave, kybercave.com. My fonts will work on those sabers. So FoursFX.com, saberfont.com. And I am going to plug my boy Harry at harrysolofonts.com because he is a font making genius. Also go to kybercave.com and buy a freaking saber. Also go to Kyber Cave Productions because there are so many things freaking happening. But what am I doing there? I'm playing games. I am playing games. I just did a live stream last night of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I wiped. And I totally did. I so suck at that game.
I
And-
was actually watching it for a minute, and I didn't talk in the chat because I was like doing a couple things there, and I wanted to say something, but didn't end up talking in the chat because there was like a lot going on. But
it was awful. It was
geez, I'm
it was
sorry.
so
Who did you
bad.
wipe against?
A regular freaking soldier.
what? You know, like if you would have said, "Oh, Sephiroth," you know, like
Yeah,
that's-
did I mean that'd be regular?
No, they-
wiped against a regular. What did you
They
do?
introduced a new troop to the game because one of the game elements is that there's like this block encounter, and apparently you have to block encounter against this dude like 18 times to kill him. And when he hits you, you stun. So he stunned me, and they just kept this up, and I was done.
Yikes.
he was hoping to hear this, but he did not.
No, instead it was
did
like
not.
Ocarina. Bum, 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 bum.
The only
So
reason
Kyber Cave
that-
Productions is where I'm playing games. And yes, I am making brand new sound fonts for the Kyber Cave, and they will be available on my website. So go check all that out and support all of support my stuff and support all of my friends, because without them, I wouldn't have the energy to bring this stuff to you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, Aubrey, you hopped in right when we were signing off and everything. But you know what? Give everybody your
Hey,
plug.
I at least kept my promise and I popped
did.
in.
You did.
Because
Yes, you
when I
did.
got into a Nuzlocke and I just forgot about that. Yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm
It happens.
a singer, I'm an actress, I'm a comedian apparently sometimes. Just sometimes. Most of the time I'm not that
If you
funny.
watch the gaming channel, yes, you are a comedian. That's 100% a thing.
I like being funny. It's I do jokes, I tell tricks. Anyway, wait. What?
Candlesticks.
Well, I said I do jokes, I tell tricks. Never mind. James, you're hilarious. I don't know why you're not on the stream, but
He is funny looking.
he is funny.
He has
It's a Pokey stopped. Just saying. Yeah, it stopped. The Poke.
no he was talking
Okay,
about
stop.
he was talking about the Yoda statue in San Francisco.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Stop in Pokemon Go.
And I was just doing Nuzlocke. Yeah.
That's not how I read that. I was thinking like, oh, Pokey. Like I like Pokey.
I was thinking Pokemon. Pokey. Anyway.
It's the Philippe
Philip
show.
show. Philippe show. It's a young Phil show. Whee.
Like I said, James is usually with his kids and
Aw.
his dad on here.
Mhm.
Kind of just watches it in the background while he's taking care of his kids.
That's sweet, James. Yeah. So yeah, it was awful. The wipe was awful. And I just got a Gyarados too. I was like, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got a Gyarados. I had a Baltoy. I had a Poochkin.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
that was the name we used. A Poochiena that had
Poochyena.
evolved twice. It was a twice evolved Poochiena.
This is getting depressing.
I am so in
Very-
love with the fact that you were in the Hoenn region, which is my favorite region in all of Pokemon.
Well, okay, so we were actually playing a special. It's a fan made Pokemon game, so it's called Snakewood, and basically there's a zombie plague going on. My favorite.
Ooh, Zombie-mon.
It was basically like Zombie-mon. Sort of. You're a person who lost their memory. They don't know anything, so you're trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun actually. It's a really fun game. I have one episode recorded, and we were just like, let's just play a separate game. So we got much further in that one. It's a hard game. It's like, so imagine Emerald and then like triple the difficulty at least.
God.
That is Snakewood.
Hey,
So
I'm-
anyways, yes. Sorry.
You here? I gotta
Look.
ask you here. What are you doing on Saturday?
Oh yeah. So
Beating the hell out of Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what's happening. She's
that's what I'm
she's
doing.
beating the crap out of a guy with a plastic lightsaber. That's exactly what's happening.
And
With-
that's the
yeah,
beginning of our
with
lives.
My first one. My first lightsaber. Yeah, I gotta go practice with it. Yeah. So right now I'm just draining its battery because I have to go and get it done. But yay. That's what I'm doing. Saturday in Merced, I am doing a fight/performance. I wrote the script for it and everything. It's cheesy. It's silly.
It's going to be
but
magnificent.
It's a fight show.
The cheesier and the sillier, better.
I need footage with like the best camera anybody can get, or just, you know, lots of views, and I'll just edit it all together.
Oh, that'd be great. Get ADRs
Mhm.
from us too. That would be great. And we can really make it do something. Because I don't know how well anyone's going to hear us, but we're going to try. Yeah.
Then yeah, Aubrey, what are all your socials? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram under the name Luthien the Fair. Yeah. I don't know if anyone will get that one, but you know, Luthien the Fair. You can find me on Facebook under my name, or you can find my page under this, which is BYL. It's my band's page, and we have a song called Mr. Sinister on there that you should probably check out because it's awesome.
Which is phenomenal.
That's my husband just telling me that that it's phenomenal. See, he plugs me enough.
What genre of music is it? I got to listen to it.
Like an indie rock.
Okay.
I was just gonna say like an easy rock.
It's like indie rock, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very 80s. It's an 80s rock.
Oh,
Let's just put it that way.
100%
80s indie. Yeah, it's all like 80s indie rock goodness. That's pretty much what I can tell you, because that's what it is.
Well, so this song just came on. I just got to turn it up for a second. This is Tokyo Machine and Sax.
Right with y'all.
That's fun. Also, you can find some of my acting stuff on YouTube. I was in a short film called The Tree Movie. It's very auspiciously named. You can go find that. It actually won some awards, including the best lead actress. So you can find that. So that's it.
Awesome.
That's my plug.
Nice.
I hate plugs. Anyway, I don't like talking about myself.
You're fine. Like, yeah, give me your plugs. What you got?
You usually just put it up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Right there.
That's my Instagram. If anybody wants to follow me, I just do regular stuff. I just do regular stuff. I like vintage stuff in the sense of like, I don't know. You'll have to figure it out when you look at my page. I like vintage stuff. I like history. And the other thing that I never really like self-proclaimed on here is I also love Disney. But every once in a while.
Is that a Peter Pan hat?
Yes, it is a Peter Pan hat.
Sorry, I have a song named Neverland you should check out. Anyway, sorry. Keep going, please.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So every once in a while in the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook, I will share. I try to share them. I should probably do it more frequently and a little bit more regular. Is I find really cool, fun, interesting history. What am I trying to say? I find a really cool historical YouTube videos of Disneyland. The ones I've posted in the past are like the Disneyland Railroad and the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and then other like Recollection Road type things, which is a channel on YouTube that I like to watch. Talks about just vintage early stuff, and you find out a lot of really cool stuff on those. So I try to share that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right. Awesome, guys. Of course, you guys know us. If you're watching this channel, you know who we are. I am not LeJack. I am at Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in more content from Distance Nerding, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all of those places. We have a Discord. Okay, check us out on Discord, and it is awesome because we have so much fun in the Discord. Yeah, I know, right?
You have Discord, and you didn't send me an invite. I'm upset.
I plug it in the channel.
sad face. You've not
It's
sent me a
my fault
direct
if you
message.
missed that plug because I plug it all the time. I've posted it 3 times in our chat.
I'm in it.
You think I go and read the chats? Come on.
Oh, next time I'll tag you in it. But guys, I mean, anything that we do, if you're interested in what we do, check us out. Now, of course, listen to the podcast, listen to the show. I'm dropping another episode of Comic Conversation this Sunday with Echo. If you guys are hip hop fans at all, there's we did an interview with rapper Echo about 2 weeks ago, and I just finished editing it. We're putting that show out on Sunday. Earlier than expected, just because it's kind of a big deal and it was a really good interview. So we're going to be doing that. If you're into nerd rap, check out Echo, EKOH. Yeah, I mean, the dude, he's a good rapper, but on top of that, he also raps about the stuff that we're into. Talks about, he's got a whole song called Suicide Squad where he talks about like the Suicide Squad. It's awesome. But on that right there, guys, check out anything we're doing. If you're interested in any of the audio shows that we have, anywhere you can get podcasts, we have the podcast on all audio platforms. Check us out, guys.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So that being said, it is now time for the dance party. I don't think Aubrey's ever participated in the dance party.
Neither have I.
What is the dance party?
Oh, let me tell you guys about the dance party. So basically what you're going to do, our theme song is going to play here in a second, right? And when the theme song starts playing, basically you're just going to grab something around you, a toy, a book, anything, whatever you want to dance with, and just make it dance on screen. That's perfect right there. So I'm going to go ahead and start it here. I'll probably start with Jack because she usually has something good. I don't know what she has this time.
I don't have anything in here.
You wanna run in here and grab something before we start?
Let me look in the closet.
Okay.
Oh, no, I have something.
Okay. So here I love it. So let's go ahead and do this. Make sure I'm on the right screen. I'm gonna start here.
Distance nerding.
Yes! That cat's probably like, what are you doing? Let me go! I will destroy you, human!
Oh, the wickedness.
I'm gonna shit in your in your platter box.
In your cereal.
Sorry, Moo.
Box later, human. And yes, that is a Funko Pop of me.
Yes.
Yes.
And then in comes the Wild James.
Hi, Wild James, awesome.
Oh, hold on. Wrong.
What do you better?
I'm on the wrong screen.
I know.